Chapter 31. Nala. This wasn't exactly how Nala had pictured seeing Garamba back when she and Simba had made those long-ago plans to visit. She only caught glimpses of the rest of the beautiful landscape as they sprinted through the dense jungle at top speed, determined to put as much distance between themselves and Scar as they could. They had left him in a bad state. Nala wouldn't be surprised if Scar could not walk for at least a day or two, but they could leave nothing to chance. She had seen more bizarre things happen, and she knew first paw how shrewd Scar could be. Battered and broken, he could still figure out a way to get to them. They ran until they reached the less dense area of the forest, the place that established the Garamba's border. It wasn't until then that she finally felt safe enough to slow down. "I think we could stop for a minute," Nala puffed between deep breaths. Scar was too injured to make it very far. "I believe you are right, Miss Nala," Zazu said. "Phew, these wings have got quite a workout today. I still cannot believe what just happened with Scar," Zazu amended. "What could have come over him?" Nala had a theory about that. "He wanted it to keep power," she said. It was so obvious. It was why he had decided they should continue their journey to Garamba, instead of demanding they return to Pride Rock when he'd found her. And she had been clueless. She'd thought Scar was on her side. Yet this entire time, "I feel like such a fool," Nala said. "I led him right to you. I'm so sorry, Simba." He covered her right paw with his own. "It's okay, Nala. I'm sorry I led Scar to you, but I'm not sorry I came," she continued, "because you're here. You're really here, Simba." She threw her forelegs around him in a fierce embrace. It felt as if it was finally sinking in that she had Simba back. Okay, can we break up the love fest? It's giving me indigestion," Timon said. The skinny meerkat plopped his paws on his hips. "So, what do we do now that we've left the ugly one back at the grotto?" "I say we have a look around," Pumbaa suggested. "I haven't been this far outside of the jungle in a long time." "None of us have," Timon said. He frowned. "Just look at it. Who would want to come here?" Nala glanced around. The leaves on the sparsely populated trees were not as green, and there wasn't a waterfall to be seen. "It's not as beautiful as Garamba, but what is?" Nala asked. She looked up at the sky. The sun hadn't set yet, and there were a few clouds, but Nala realized that she didn't need to rely on the stars to guide them back to Pride Rock. She felt confident that between her and Zazu, they could figure out the way home. She looked to Timon and Pumbaa. "You two need to decide if you're coming with us, because we'll need to get going. Scar may be down, but he isn't out. I don't trust sticking around for much longer." Timon hooked a thumb at her. "What's she talking about?" she asked Pumbaa. "Going where? And who is us?" Nala became more antsy the longer they stood there. She knew there was no possible way that Scar was strong enough to get through the jungle right then, but she would not rest easy until she had put much more distance between them. "We can't stay here," Nala said. "It's time for us to start our journey back home." She looked to Zazu. "You know the way, right?" "Yes, I do, Miss Nala." "Good." She nodded, and then to Simba she said, "Let's go." She'd already started walking when she heard, "I can't." Nala stopped and turned. She tilted her head to the side and stared at Simba in confusion. "What do you mean, you can't?" Nala asked. "We need to get going. If we leave now, we could be back at Pride Rock in less than 2 days." Simba took a step back. "I can't come with you." Nala's head reared back as if he'd slapped her with an open paw. "What? Why not?" Simba dropped his head. His shoulders slumped. I can't." "Simba, I came here for you. Do you know what I've been through? What the entire Pride has been through?" "The Pride will be better off without me," he said. "Why would you even think such a thing?" she asked. But then she remembered where she'd heard something similar. It was from Scar before he'd attempted to kill Simba. Don't believe what Scar told you about life back at Pride Rock. It was all lies. Life has been awful there, Simba. He looked up at her, his eyes widening in shock. Nala went on. The hyenas raid the food. The lionesses can barely keep up with how much they eat. They deplete everything and leave us with nothing. And your mother, no, he said. He shook his head and turned away. Please, I can't hear any more. You will listen to me, Nala said. She had come too far and withstood too much to have him disregard her. You don't understand, Nala. I can't go back to Pride Rock. Why not? Because it was my fault, Simba yelled. He dropped his head again and shook it. In a soft, broken voice, he whispered, It was my fault. Nala walked up to him. She nudged him with her nose, encouraging him to look up. What are you talking about, Simba? What was your fault? When he finally lifted his eyes to meet her, the guilt and fear staring back at her stole her breath. That my dad died, he answered. Nala froze. She couldn't possibly have heard him correctly. A stampede killed King Mufasa, Nala said. I'm the reason he was there, Simba said. If I had not been down in the gorge, he never would have gone there. He wouldn't have been trampled by those wildebeests. It was my fault. Simba, Nala whispered. The emotion welling in her throat made it difficult to speak. Is this really the reason you've stayed away all this time? Like a bolt of lightning striking her from the sky, it occurred to her that she had been carrying the same guilt. She had blamed herself for not going with Simba that day. Nala didn't realize just how foolish it was until she heard the same coming from Simba. That wasn't your fault, she told him. But Scar said he told you lies, Nala said. He told me that everyone would blame me for it, Simba said. He told me to run away and never return, that it was the only thing I could do. I can't go back, Nala. The compassion Nala had felt for Simba quickly turned to anger towards him. He was choosing to allow Scar and his lies to dictate his life, and she simply would not have it. No one at Pride Rock will blame you for Mufasa's death, Nala said. Your mother loves you, and your pride needs you. If you refuse to return with me, no one will believe it's because of what Scar told you. They will believe it's because you're a coward. He jerked his head up. I'm not a coward, he said. Prove it, Nala taunted. She stepped up to him until she was only centimeters from his face. I left my home and defied my mother. I battled thunderstorms, was kidnapped by violent monkeys, and was nearly killed by a rival pride of lions. I did all that without knowing if you were even alive. It was just a hunch, but that was all I needed. I was willing to do anything to bring you back home, where you belong. What are you willing to do, Simba? Please, 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 Nala silently pleaded. She thought the word over and over again, but she refused to say it. She would not beg him again, as painful as it would be after everything she'd gone through to get here. If Simba decided to stay in Garamba, then she would leave him here. What are you going to do? Nala asked one last time. Several lengthy, uncomfortable, silent moments stretched between them. Then that slow grin Nala had not seen in 6 long months stretched across her best friend's face. I'm going home, he said. Nala went weak with relief, and then she jumped in the air. Finally! Well, Puma, I guess we're going to Pride Rock, wherever that is, Timon said. Right we are, Sazu said, and not a moment too soon.